I was living at home then, and I had a week to find a car, which I bought that little Studebaker, which I was lucky that I got one that didn't use a lot of gas, and I got it at a price I could pay it out in about 2 years. But my salary was so low, it was not believable.
You talking about at the health department?
The health department. The salaries then were comparable to a school teacher, but that was, the starting salary was $265 a month, and I was working. They had me working. Each county was even though we were considered on the state, we were on the state payroll, but the county had to pay part of the money, and state paid part of it. But it was always I worked 1.5 years before I was supposed to have gotten a raise after 12 months, I think. And Dr. Byer, he would not recommend me, even though I was doing an adequate job and probably better than most.
No, wait, was he the Jewish guy, or?
No, he was a health officer. He was a doctor.
So it was he director or something?
He was a director.
So he wouldn't put you up for the raise because trying to save money or something?
Yeah, see, it didn't affect him at all.
He was trying to keep the budget.
Keep the budget the same, and cause see what we had to do. We had to get the county court, which is made up of people from every district, like John Talbot. And I don't know how many districts we had. I think there's about 13. Used to be when I was born. They have had about 13 districts in Carroll County. And Wheat County's probably got a few more than that because it's larger in size. But we would have to pay a certain percent of the total, or the county did, and they would haggle and refuse to hold out. They'd hold out, just keep you waiting. They wouldn't ever let you know if they were going. And after Dr. Byer retired, he retired after about 5 years after I got there. And they had me as acting director. And I was responsible to meet with the county court every quarter, which was not fun. I mean, I didn't know any of them. They didn't know me from Adam when I moved there. I didn't know a single person in Wheat County.
Yeah.
And but these people were from all over the county, and they were farmers, primarily farmers. Some of them were businessmen. But and we would give a report, a written report every year to the court, and it would be we would make it out, and then Martha would print. We had a copier. I guess it was an old time duplicating machine at the time I started, but we later had we could just make copies like you do now. But anyway, we'd make copies for the nurses would have theirs. The environmental section, which I had, took up most of the rest of it. Then I had about 15 programs I was responsible for, and I was the only one in the county that was available to do it, like the rabies control, all the schools, all the daycare centers, all the cafeterias, all the nursing homes, all the child care centers, any complaint about anything that you wanted to complain about, I had to investigate. It was not pleasant, and it was left up to the county, your county director, how many days. It was a 5-day. You got paid for 5 days. That's all you got paid for. Well, he had us to stay there on Saturday until noon every week. So and that happened for probably like
Who made you stay there till
Dr. Bauer.
till on Saturday?
Every Saturday morning I'd come in regular time, 7.
To do what?
Just to work. I'd make calls on Saturdays. Sometimes it might be something like
Oh, to work? He would make y'all, and y'all wouldn't get paid for it?
We didn't get, no, the salary was the same. Most counties around us were on a 5-day work, probably throughout the state. We were one of the few in the whole state that were on a 5.5-day thing. But by the time they took the taxes out, the IRS, the time they took the taxes out, and I still had to make a car payment, had to pay rent, where I was staying, buy food, clothing, gas, all that stuff. And you know what my check was when
After all that was paid for?
No.
Oh, before all your expenses.
When the IRS got through with it, just the cash I got at the end of the month.
How much?
It's barely $200.
Daggone, that's $50 a week. So, did you get paid extra for being the director?
No, I did not.
Didn't get an extra raise for that or anything?
No, the only time I got a raise, well, the first time I got a raise was about 2 years after I started working. I went to Johnson City and went to that school of public health up there and stayed for 6 or 8 weeks, 8 weeks maybe. And I got about 16 hours credit during those 6 or 8 weeks, whatever it was, and we was all health related. And when I was eligible for a raise after I completed that, but you don't get raises but once a year, and that's in, I think it's July or something. Whenever you could ask for a raise, but you wouldn't get it because it had to be approved by your local director, and he didn't even want to do it after I went to school. But he finally did get one after I went to school.
Well, that's crazy.
And
seemed like they were giving you the runaround on that.
You know how much the increase was? It's like
$2
$20 a month.
Well, that's better than
I
was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be lower than that. But yeah,
it's
it
either
sounds
15 or 20.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was either $15 or $20.
I mean, I know things were cheaper back then, but at the same time, you weren't making as much.
Well, I certainly wasn't. I was staying in a rooming house, and I was just had a room rented, and then I ate part of my meals there. And when I first moved there, Ms. Newberry and her husband had a house right almost directly across the street from the health department, and that's where I got a room. It was on the outside. You just walk inside off the porch or the entrance, and my room was the first one on the left, and just had a bed and no TV. I didn't have a TV at that point.
Chest of drawers or a closet.
I had a closet to hang my clothes in. But
I guess it was convenient to where you were working.
Oh yeah,
walk across the street.
I could walk across the street, and that was a convenience. And then when then her husband died after about a year and a half or a year. Might have been a year and a half. I can't remember exactly. It was it wasn't long after it was probably about a year and a half. And then Ms. McEwen whom I had never met before. But she was a member of the church, and her husband was. He was a retired rural carrier. And he had started in like 1910,
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness.
He built one of those. He had the house that he had built was nice. It was a full it looked like a custom built house, but it was a Sears Roebuck one ordered from Sears Roebuck, and had a certain model number, and it had a full basement, or not full, but it had where you could put a furnace down there. That's what they had, and you could burn coal, which was a plus. So I didn't have to worry about a heating bill, and my electric. I just paid a flat rate for my room, and I ate supper there. Lunch I usually ate out, and breakfast. I can't remember much about the breakfast. I don't think.
You might not have ate it.
I don't think I had much of a breakfast. I might have had some cereal or something. I don't know. I didn't. But she was like 80 years old probably when I moved in, and her husband was about 85, I guess.
You starving?
But I bored you with
It looks
all-
no, I'm enjoying it, Pop. I'm enjoying hearing it because I hadn't heard the
Well,
details
I don't know if
of
I've ever told you some of that stuff.
No. No.
But it was part of my background and part of my history, I guess.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me some more. I want to hear about when you were in Detroit. But that would be a little interesting.
That was my first summer of 1954. I'll tell you that another day or another time.